It's time to dish with D. That's me. Thank you for this video, making yourself a priority. I am Denise. It is Monday. It is a windy Monday morning. And I'm looking in here and going, my gosh, you need a haircut. Yeah, my hair got long. So when I'm done with this video, and there's Bailey, we're gonna get our hair cut. When we get our hair done, because I'm going, oh my gosh, it grew. And this is like, I just went a little bit shorter and it needed to be changed. I'm looking at myself going, oh my God, you look like something the cat dragged in and beat up. So welcome to today's weigh-in and weekly WW meeting topic for the week. All right, D, you had a huge loss last week. I lost 4.4 pounds. If you don't remember, I will bring that up. I actually just checked. I couldn't remember. I lost 4.4 pounds last week. I had gained 2.8 the week prior, which again, I did not feel it was a true gain. I think that proved that because I lost that bonus. So I was very happy, So come this week, I felt like I had a really good week, I didn't have any oopsie days that I would be like, oh, I was watching my gluten, I was behaving. Well, can't say that for this weekend. Well, that's next week's video. But I stepped on the scale. I was the same. I don't know when it comes out the same. It's always funny. I was happy with that. I did not. I was like, to me, 4.4 was a big, huge loss, and I was just hopeful to keep that off because then I know it's a true loss. I was like, well, it was a true loss, and I kept it off. So I was excited for that. Yeah, I mean, like, am I going to get losses every week? I'm not. So I absolutely love a good stay the same. Even if I was up 0.2, I would have considered that a win as well. So I was tickled to death to be the same. She's like, you're the same. I'm like, yay! I was just like, good. Even though I had a really good week, and you always say, well, I have a good week. Good week doesn't always reflect on this scale as a loss. And especially as low as I am at this point, back in the day, yes, if I was, 100 pounds heavier, yeah, if I had a good week, I'd always usually see it as somewhat of a loss. But not down here. It's just, a maintain is fine with me. So I'm happy to report that. So it is Labor Day. I'm filming this on Labor Day. So happy September 2nd. Fall is coming. It's beautiful here today. A little chill in the air. I had to use my mic. It's a little bit windy out here. So yeah, fall's here. Now, what does that mean for you? Like summer's, officially, the unofficial end of summer comes with this weekend. What does that mean for you for the future? Like for the, a lot of people seem to, when summer's over, because it's very laid back summer, it's, and people buckle down come September. So if you're watching this video, trying to get back on track from the summer, welcome back. Because I know September's a big time for people to get back on track. So if you're first watching this because of that, welcome back. We're glad to have you back. I get it. Trust me. This is probably the first summer that I've actually been pretty good on plan. Shocking. And I also did I did an August post in my Facebook group saying, what do you want to see in the month of August? What is your goal per se? And my goal was to lose 1.5 pounds. So I reported, as we did September's, I said August goal was lose 1.5. I did wind up losing 2.2 or 2.4. I don't remember the total. So I was happy. So I achieved my goal and I went above my goal. And I set a goal for August to lose 2 pounds. So I thought, let's move it up a little bit. Let's challenge ourselves to see if I can lose 2 pounds for the month of September. So that is my challenge. And what is your challenge for the month of September? Let's put it out here too. What is your goal? Like doesn't have to be weight loss. It doesn't have to be scale related. It could be anything. It could be forming a certain habit or certain this or certain that. It's always, for me, it's just, I want to be scale related because I want to really work on that. But for you, it doesn't have to be. So what is your September goal? Set and make it small. Don't make it like, and I just phrase 1.5 pounds is not a lot, but I made it so I could achieve it. So I feel really good the fact that I achieved August's goal. I did it, and that is empowering. It makes you want to pounce the month of September because I did August's goal. Yeah, so make it achievable, and that puts you in a positive mindset to fight the fight that we fight. So let me know in the comment section below. Sorry about that. Let us get to the WW topic at hand. As usual, Bailey wanted to go in. He always does. It's beautiful. I'm shocked he wants to go in, but That's typical Bailey. How to change, no, how to take charge of unhelpful thoughts. Yeah, it's a mindset thing. We do. And they're doing this, I think, because it's September, and I think a lot of people seem to have that relaxed mindset over the summer. And sometimes you realize, oh, I've had this relaxed mindset now. I have to really work double hard. So it says, after a setback, you can't always control what pops into your mind. Resist entering the chat and start a new conversation instead. Try this. Identify an unhelpful thought. Was this so long? This went off and I was recording nothing. Try this. Identify an unhelpful thought. Pay attention when your brain starts telling you something that is less supportive. I ate all those cookies and now my week is ruined. Why even bother tracking? I had an unhelpful thought yesterday. I was going back and forth whether to eat a roll at the barbecue because of the gluten. Oh, don't even ask. And I'm like going back and forth. I'm like, it's Sunday. It doesn't give me, like I said, it doesn't cause me pain or anything. This causes me, inflammation and bloating. And I'm like, well, I wanted it. Like, okay, have the roll, but don't feel bad about it. So, other than that, I really did really well yesterday. Did have a few of the desserts, but I don't think any of the desserts I had a gluten in them. So I was like kind of proud of that. So, that ice cream, still gluten in ice cream. So, but yeah, you have to look at that thought and try to make something positive out of it, or because we could wallow in unhelpful thoughts, and and you'd be surprised. Maybe you wouldn't be surprised. A lot of people who have struggled with weight loss often have very negative self-images of themselves, and we just always think of ourselves as being unworthy, bad, useless, or just not being able to do what we need to do. Like, why can't I just do this? Why can't I just lose this weight? Why is it such a struggle? I see other people doing it. Why is it such a struggle for me? Those questions I wish I could answer. Can't answer for myself. Create some distance. Imagine that thought as a cartoon character. You're just relaying the script. Here's that thought. It says this week is a wash and I should just give up. Commit to act. Decide what action you'll take based on your goals, not what that single thought dictates. I don't have to quit. I'll make and track a low point dinner tonight and snack on 0 point foods. Like, find something like that you can work on. Like, yeah, you've blown your points for the day, but there are other things you can eat that don't have points in them. 0 point foods, fruits and vegetables if you don't have to count your fruit. Even if you do have to count your fruit, it's still a piece of fruit. It's a natural piece of fruit. Like, I know it's sometimes there are 3 points and it's like, oh my gosh, but it's still a piece of fruit. Like, I always say that to myself, like, don't look at something and be like, oh my God, that's 3 points, but it's a piece of fruit. I think that we do have negative thoughts, especially when it comes to certain points on food. Let's dive deeper. Ever try to quietly evict unhelpful thoughts from your brain? Yeah, it doesn't always work, especially during stressful or busy times when more of those unwelcome guests tend to move in. What does work? Accepting them merely as thoughts and not true statements. Then taking back some power by inviting the other action-oriented thoughts. I agree, but don't use those excuses that I just went off track. It's okay. If you're doing that several times a week, then you're using that as an excuse and you're really not on plan. And I say this because I've been that person. I've been that person who acts like they are on plan, has all the bells and whistles to do it, but this is just not into it. I like food too much, and food is an addiction for me. For me, I have a very hard time with certain things, and I recognize that, and I have to try to avoid certain situations. Doesn't always end well for me. And you can be on plan and it's just there's these little things, I keep saying, remember, Denise, you've been heavy for 45 years. Long time. I'm always going to have that tendency to grab and want more. It's just, I know that about myself, and I recognize that, which is helpful. And I do always ask for help near me, don't let me grab that. If you see, don't let me eat that. Here, take this. I don't need it. Because if I give it away, then I'm much better. But if it sits there, stares at me, I'm likely going to go back. This approach is critical on a weight loss journey because what you think often drives what you do. So if thoughts of failure or quitting go unchecked, you'll find yourself doing just that. But when you separate yourself from what your brain is saying and have a space to consider the facts and alternatives, like the fact that setbacks and fresh starts are normal. To a point, they are. Yes, but when you're using them multiple times a week, multiple weeks at a time, it becomes like you got to stop. You just have to like buckle down and what are you like? What are you messing up on? Like I always ask that. What is the thing that drives you to mess up? Is it something you're not having and that you could sort of try to make lighter and fit in? Like there's always that Achilles thing that just always sets you off. That what is, and then I always thought for me when I say this was cake. Like how could I sit there and make cake affordable in points in my journey? So I'm not sitting there oogling at it every time I see it and then just go off the rails when it's there. So now it's different. Like I don't have to get that. I have cake. I have my own cake. I don't need that cake. I'm having it. I'm having those potato chips that people stare at. I'm having those. They're different. They're baked, and they're individually bagged, and that helps me. And they're just little things that I've had to tweak. Don't worry if the shift doesn't happen overnight. This type of mindfulness can feel hard and strange at first, but so many of our thoughts are automatic. Be patient. As with other parts of our journey, the more you practice, the easier it becomes. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. That's the big climb. You got to do it. You got to do it, and you got to, like I said, don't deny yourself something that you truly want. Find a way to make it later. Find a way to fit it in. Like sometimes it's like I can never, and I've said this a lot, why do I make one and done cakes? Because I cannot make a 8.5 by 11 pan of cake. It just never works. I don't care how light it is. Because even light cake in abundance is going to, it's going to do it. It's like, but I just have one and it's done and it's gone and I've satisfied that need and I don't have to stare at it. That's what works for me. There's different, like you have to definitely address what's your Achilles heel. Like what, and everybody's is different. One fast fact: thoughts are not facts. Thoughts are just thoughts. A fact is when you put it in action. So yeah, that's a big one. Thoughts are not facts. I have many thoughts that go through my head sometimes, and like until I act on them, they're just thought. And just because, like I said, just because I had like an overindulgent meal yesterday doesn't mean that I'm not going to have a rest of a good week. It was one day out of 7. So you'd have to rein it in, and I will do that today. We are home, so I will definitely have more control. I have more of my favorite things here, so that always makes a difference. When you're out, you don't have your staples. You don't have the things that you rely on. They're not here. Could you bring them? You could. It's just always like I don't want to. Like I said, I didn't do as bad as I could have, and that's how I look at it. Like, what could I have done? What could I have done worse? Yeah, I mean, what could I have done better? I think, I could have had the burger without the bun. For me, that just, I made the choice, and I didn't want, and I don't feel guilty about it. And that's the thing, when you sit there and have that conversation with yourself in front of that, you decide what you want. You decide whether that's worthy, and say to yourself, "I'm not going to feel bad about it." You have to, because you shouldn't feel guilty about food, even if we have like the biggest pork out, so we really feel guilty. No, you'd have to move on. You can't let those. We can't let get out of the conversation of our head. And that's hard because, especially for some of us who've been lifers with this problem, yeah, it's hard to reinvent your head. Like, it's like I've had these unhelpful thoughts for how many years now. You just have to realize that, and these kind of videos and listening to people on podcasts and stuff, and you just listen. And Weight Watchers has a lot of them on their thing. Just listen, and you keep listening. And learn that, I can do better, and I will do better, and it's not over. It's never till it's over. Don't sit there and say, you could have had a bad weekend. It's a big barbecue weekend, and you could have just went to several barbecues and you see that food, and it just draws you in, and no matter what you do, you just can't stop. And there's people that happens to. There is, like, I avoided a lot of they had homemade mac and cheese. Now, I could have had it, but it's not something like I said, I thought, I made a choice. I'd rather have the bun than have the macaroni. So you sit there and you just kind of like, what am I going to have and what am I not going to have? And I have these, oh my God, the sauteed peppers and onions and sun-dried tomatoes was my friend. Oh, I loaded it on my burger. I had it on the side, kielbasa and sauerkraut. I had some of that. You know, you make the best of what you can and accept the things, you know, that you cannot change. And that's the thing, like, but don't use that as an excuse to be, well, I was at a barbecue. It's all I had, so I ate a hamburger, hot dog, and I went back, had another hamburger because it's all I had, and it's just one day, and yeah, true that, but sometimes what could we have done better? And I try to look at that, and you just make each individual situation, you just try to make the best of it, and sometimes and like I said, go back to that. What I, like I said, that's good and bad. What would old Denise have eaten? Ooh, that's crazy to think of. And you go, ooh, yeah, I definitely have come a long way. I have, and I've even had, you're not going to go, you have more. You're not going to have any. No, I'm satisfied. And I'm trying to instill that in Timmy, like this, being satisfied versus being full. Like, are you hungry? Well, no, but I'm not full. We don't have. You're not supposed to be full. It's basically trying to be satisfied, and that's something that you just learn. And sometimes walking away from where the food is helps, because staring at it, you think you want it. You really don't, but you think you do because you've always gone back. So it's just natural progression to go back again and get more, because that's what I do. I just eat more. But are you hungry? So that's, it's something that you have to keep doing. It's something you have to keep reminding yourself. We have to work harder than most people when it comes to picking out our food on a buffet. We have to work harder, and that's what I said last week about I didn't realize that I really have to work harder at doing this. I can't do what I did before, because it's kind of like I've been doing it so long. It's time to dig my heels in, and I have to work. And that was like not a good thing to hear. And when I heard the video back, I'm like, God, I got to work harder. Did I say that? It's true, and I do. I have to work 10 times harder than I did before. Is that hard? Yes, it is, because I feel like I work really hard now. It's like I work really hard now. I have to work even harder. So it's like, yes, well, if you want to achieve that goal to get back to WW goal, it's funny that I'm fighting to get back to that, because that's one of those things I never thought I'd get to. It's the fact I'm trying to get back there. It's like, who is this person? Who is this person? Because this person's thrilled to be where she is, to be totally honest. But it's like, now it's like this challenge. No, I want to get back to that. Yeah, no, I want to get back to that. So it's definitely, and here it's fall. September, October are good months because not much goes on, but we got November, we have Thanksgiving, which I don't think is a terrible holiday. Honestly, I've never really had big gains on Thanksgiving, so I'm not really afraid of that. It's Christmas and there's cookies and parties and the cookies. There's always cookies at parties. So I'm thinking I just need to really get my head, down and get dirty and get this done, because it's going to be like, you just know what's going to happen then. And I'm all right with that, the holidays. I don't, but I need to get a little further down before that happens. So that's the game plan. It's to really dig my heels in. And yes, I have to work harder. I have to be more diligent. And it's like one of those, it's not a positive thing to have to come in here and say. It's like, nobody wants to hear that. I'm just like, oh my God, I have to work harder? And I do. I thought I worked hard enough. I didn't. So we're just going to have to put our pedal to the metal? Yeah. Balls to the wall? That's an expression too? But yeah, and we're going to say, if you're interested in doing that with me, getting down and dirty and really, digging your heels in, because I'm about sick of this. I am. I get to the point where I'm tired of putting work in and not seeing the results that I need. So now I have to put more work in. Not a positive thing to end with, but there is light at the end of the tunnel because, you know, it's worth having and it's worth putting the work in if it's worth having. So you have to decide what is valuable to you. I mean, am I healthy where I'm at now? I sure am. I am. I mean, I'm not gonna. My doctor loves it. All my test results have been fantastic. So it's not like I am, my blood pressure's low. Everything is just great. So it's not like I need to do this for anything. It's just I need to do it for me. Probably the first time I've had to do it for me. I think the last time was all about health. So there's a difference. Now it's about me and what I want. So that's a totally different mindset. I want to do this for me. And I want to prove to myself that I can get back to where I was. And it's going to take everything that I have. It'll be interesting. It's going to be interesting. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We can only do what we can do. I'm not losing sleep over it, that's for sure. No, I'm not losing sleep over it. I'm not going to sit there and avoid things because of it. I'm just going to sit there and do what I need to do when I have the time to do it. So that is it. That is it. I hope you had a fantastic, whenever you get to see this, Labor Day weekend. It is September 2nd, so are you up to getting back on track? We should put that in the thumbnail. It's September 2nd, back on track, because it's a very popular time. I think the looseness of summer is over. Yes, there's usually a big influx on Weight Watchers in September and January. I'm curious to see if we have a bigger, though I will say my meeting's pretty crowded, so I'm curious to see if we get any more people joining this week. So I'm excited to see that because next couple weeks you will see. I get it. It's the nature of the beast. So I am welcoming you all back. So that is it for me. I was going to say something else. I don't remember what I was going to say, but how was your week? How did your week go? Leave that in the comment section below. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it indifferent? I'd love to hear about it. So that was my week. That is the WW topic of the week. How to take charge of unhelpful thoughts. I wish they can get into our head and change those unhelpful thoughts, because that would really be the topic I'd like to say. Yes, you take this little pill and it goes in your head and it changes everything to positive. No. We have to, realize that we are human and we are flawed, and sometimes food is good. I could talk all day about that one. Food is good, and it's like, and you always feel like, I don't know if you've come across this, but this happens to me sometimes. I feel very sad. Like if I look at something and I'm like, I really want that. Or I had this, I would like to have both, but I know I can't. And then I get really sad. It's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like it's mourning the person that I was who just had whatever she wanted and didn't care. And like now I'm like, well, I have to choose between that. So, and then it's kind of like, it's kind of sad. Like I'm not lucky enough to be able to eat what I want and not have to worry about it. But that's life. Can't change it. Is what it is. We just have to deal with what we got. And we make the best of what we got because, hey, we're eating something, right? We're not eating nothing. So there we go. That's the silver lining. I am getting something. I'm just not getting everything. So something is better than nothing. All right, I'll leave you with that thought. You have a great rest of your day. I will dish with you another day. Have a great one, my lovelies, and we got this.